everybody? Welcome back to Card Curiosity, where we try to find the best possible ways to make a good return on your investment in the sports card world. Before we get started with this video, I just want to say thanks to all those who've subscribed and are watching this video. It means a lot. We're just trying to have fun over here with cards and learn how to make a little money doing it. So in this video, we're going to do something a little bit different here. This is going to be a profit review video where we just kind of look at some of our winning plays. College football season has just kicked off. We're one weekend in, and it has led to some crazy activity for some of these cards that we have purchased. So we're going to run through some numbers today. These are all cards that have sold over the first weekend of college football, and sales through basically September 1st, that Sunday evening, as people digest what we just saw. So first we have this T-Mac card. He is, of course, a receiver for Arizona. He had a crazy first week and had 300 yards receiving, 10 or 12 catches, 4 touchdowns, which is unheard of for a receiver. And so naturally his cards have just gone through the roof here this first weekend. So this is a card that we bought on February 4th of 2024. We paid $60 for it, and it ended up... we didn't think it was worth grading because there might have been just some minor imperfections. We did not think it would get a 10, and that's kind of what we end up trying to do. If we don't think it'll get a 10, we will just simply sit on it until the hype cycle comes, or when we think that hype cycle will be, and that turned out to be an okay play for us. So paid $60. We received, after eBay fees, $165.95, which ends up being a profit of around $100. So we made more than 100% on, or almost 100% on this investment here, and that's a great start for this particular card. Even though we didn't grade it, we had a nice big paycheck there from that one. So pretty nice return on that. Next we have a Jackson Dart PSA 9. He is, of course, the quarterback for Ole Miss, and they're expected to do very well this year. He had a great game in game 1, and this card we bought on March 31st this year. We paid $57. We sent it to PSA. It did not get a 10, which is unfortunate. So we're into the card for $82, and after eBay fees, we collected around $140, which means we got about $55 worth of profit. So not as much of a home run as if we would have got a 10 here, but still a 60 to 70% profit on this card. That worked out pretty well for us. And so that's the idea with some of this, is you can buy cards that you think will gem, even if they get a 9. Assuming you're right about the player, you can still have a chance to make decent money. Here we have Will Howard. He is the new quarterback for Ohio State. At the time we bought this in March of 2024, we paid $43, $25 or so to grade. So we're in it for just shy of $70. And we collected $180 from eBay, which is a $110 profit, or 160% return from this card. And I will admit that Will Howard is a player that I could not get comfortable buying too much of, because when he transferred to Ohio State, I know he's going, Ohio State's a great team to have cards with and to play for, but he wasn't guaranteed the starting job, so we didn't really know. And so because of that uncertainty, I just wasn't sure. If he was a backup, I don't think his cards would go up nearly as much as they did here. So this is one of the only Will Howard cards that we have. Next, we have another T-Mac card. This is a yellow refractor autograph. Really nice. We bought it in June, so we haven't even had this for very long. We paid $93 for it. With grading fees, we're all in around $120. And so, yeah, we sold this really quickly over the weekend after T-Mac's performance. We collected $260 from eBay, so $140 profits, more than 100% return on this particular card, which is awesome. Next we have Shedeur Sanders. This will end up being one of our, I guess, our biggest loser of the weekend. So in February, we bought this card. It was already graded by SGC. It was graded at 10, and we paid $220 for it. We crossed it over to PSA, got a PSA 10, which is great. But after grading fees and everything else, we're in this card for about $245 to $250. And it sold over the weekend for $300 on eBay, but after fees, we ended up collecting only $255. So you're talking about like a $5 or $10 profit from this particular card. So that's something we're going to have to learn from. Shedeur, I think, is a phenomenal player, but I believe his hype going in at the end of last season and going into this season, he was already so well known and so hyped up that it's going to be hard for his autographs to continue to push higher versus a guy like T-Mac that was relatively unknown, and now all of a sudden everybody knows about him, everybody wants his stuff. And so Shedeur or other players that are already pretty well known, those are ones that I think we have to be careful of going forward. Still didn't lose money, but didn't make that much either. Next we have Travis Hunter, who I'll admit we didn't have enough of his cards. Shedeur was the guy that we tended to focus on. Travis Hunter was kind of considered the second guy to invest in, but I think that's completely wrong. This particular card we bought in July 1st, and so it was. We've only had it a couple months. Paid $140 all in, including the grading fees. It sold for $300 very quickly over the weekend when he had a great game with 3 touchdowns. So the profit, we sold it, after eBay fees, we received $257. The profit on this flip would be about $120, or just about 100% or so. Pretty close to a perfect trade, except I think I had this listed way too low. $300 after his performance ended up being a bargain. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing could sell today for $350 or $400, but we still made a really good return on it. Got to be happy with that. So that's another good one. I wish I had more Travis Hunter cards. I tried to get some. It just seemed to be hard to find ones that would grade for him, that would grade well. So next, this is probably the craziest one. One of the most beautiful cards I've ever held in my hands. This T-Mac Sapphire Autograph Red. It is a absolutely beautiful color match card, numbered to 5. And we bought this in April of 2024. It was already graded at the time by BGS. It was a BGS 9.5. And so we paid around $400 all in to get that card and to send it to PSA to grade. We cracked it out of the slab. We hoped that it would get a 10, and it did. And then when we got this thing back, I listed it high at $1,500, thinking, who knows? It's a nice card. It's rare. Not very many of these are going to be out there on the market. Let's just see what happens. And then he had that crazy game, and sure enough, this thing sold for $1,500 on Sunday evening. So that, I guess, it was unexpected, but obviously very welcome. We do our homework. We knew he was a guy we wanted. Thought we got a good deal on the autograph. So after eBay fees, we received just shy of $1,300, which means that the profit on this flip alone is $885, and that's an incredible ROI. It shows that this trade and all the others, if you do some homework and you can identify players that are relatively unknown, you can find their cards, you can grade them, you can get some PSA 10s, and then you can sit and be patient for the season to start. You generally want to buy in the off season. When the season starts, and if the players you expect to do well start to do well, their cards should go up, and sometimes pretty dramatically. You can have good things like this. So that is just week 1 for us of college football season. We've already had a few days here in week 2 where we've had some sales, so we'll probably talk about those again soon. But I think we're finding that college football season, especially the early parts of it, is a very, very profitable strategy if you can be careful about it and identify good players to invest in. So hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, stay curious.